So for the first time in many years, I'm actually excited about my spring 2026 wardrobe. For me, it's about embracing new colors that I don't normally wear, patterns, textures, layers. Typically warmer colors don't really work that well for me, but I've found that if I take a warm color and I break it up, whether that be through a stripe or with like a large pattern, it's much easier for me to wear and to pull off successfully. So if you're like me, you're looking for a new style journey for 2026 and you're looking for some inspiration, hopefully this video can speak to you. Now, for reference, I'm 6'7", about 280 pounds, so a lot of my clothing is going to be extra large, or if I want to wear it oversized, a double X, just so you know. This spring, I am all about embracing patterns, textures, materials, and I invite you to do the same thing. In fact, I challenge you, if this is not something that you're normally used to. It is so hard to find like the really cool fashionable pants readily available in stores in our size with our length. I'm a 34-inch inseam typically, so it's really hard to kind of find that sweet spot when it comes to a really good pant. I was lucky enough to find a pair of the Prepster Easy Pants. They're pleated, they're drawstring, so we're gonna be able to dress them up. We're gonna be able to dress them down. Do you have a fun, exciting spring wedding or a summer wedding coming up this season? Check out a pair of Madras pants. These are gonna be a really fun way to infuse your personality, your identity, and your style, and still look good while you're doing it. Because guys, that's the entire point of having personal style, right? We're letting the clothes speak for us before we are able to introduce ourselves. You know, we make snap judgments of people all the time within the first 5 seconds of meeting someone. So put your best foot forward, put a little effort into your wardrobe, and trust me, the dividends are gonna pay themselves. I promise, it's gonna be amazing. What's great about the striped button-up, you can either readily find this available in all the stores, most of mine are Ralph Lauren or Brooks Brothers, or you can find them when you're out thrifting, which is honestly one of my favorite pastimes. Vintage Ralph Lauren is some of the best quality too, like 80s, 90s, 2000s Ralph Lauren, like it is consistently one of the better quality for menswear that's easily accessible. Not only Ralph Lauren, but Brooks Brothers also makes beautiful shirting. Now, one shirt that I reach for every single summer is this oversized green stripe Brooks Brothers button-up. The colors are muted. It's green without being too green. You know what I mean? Like it's a nice, medium, rich green, and it looks really good with my skin tone. So with this, I love just wearing it with a pair of jeans. Maybe I have it casually unbuttoned with just like a white t-shirt underneath, maybe a statement belt and a good bag. And this is the perfect summer go-to shirt. So when I wanted to kind of experiment with a warmer color, I like to break it up. This shirt, this is a departure from the green stripes, right? Like it's very red. It's probably already bringing out my red tones here on camera. I think if I wore it with like a blue sweater draped around my shoulders, a cardigan even, this could be a really fun summer look. It's definitely a departure from my comfort zone, but listen, we're on a journey of new adventures, new experiences, so we're gonna lean into what makes us a little uncomfortable. We're gonna be trusting the process this summer. Now, another way to kind of safely embrace the warmer colors that I don't normally wear, as someone who loves Hermès, I have come to love the color orange. Is it great on me? Probably not, but we're gonna lean into it anyway because again, we're stepping out of our comfort zones, but this is what I was talking about. This is a fun way to introduce a warm color to your wardrobe, to your rotation, if it has a nice big pattern on it. This also leans into the blues and greens, which I have a lot of accessories in blues and greens. I have cable knit sweaters in both of those colors that I could easily layer over this for those cool spring days. For this one, I actually sized up for a little bit more of a baggy fit. I did a double XL on this, but I think an XL would have worked just fine. The shirt I have on now is an XL, and these are the same classic fit Polo Ralph Lauren shirts that you can easily find at any Ralph store. That is the beauty of the button-up. It's so versatile. You can layer it under a polo if you wanted for an extra pop of color. You could just do about anything with a button-up. Another piece that I'm excited to debut this spring, because I didn't really get to wear it out last year, is my Ralph Lauren Oak Bluffs collab. When this collab was coming out, they teased this in a few of the shots, and I'm like, I have to have that jacket. I love the patchwork. I love all of the sewn details here on the jacket, and it's got a nice weight to it, but it's still a breathable cotton. That's what you need to look for this spring. You're looking for layers that are natural materials. I think this is gonna be breathable. It's gonna be easy, breezy, beautiful. Ralph Lauren Oak Bluffs, and I cannot wait to wear this piece out. Sometimes I like to put on just like a pair of light wash jeans, a good striped shirt, and I think the best way to kind of dress that up, make it more you, make it more interesting and unique, is through statement belts. Now, I've picked up a few recently this year. I've actually been all about belts for the past year or so. One of them that I found, this is from Stetson, and I absolutely loved this one for the tooled silver and the tooled leather here on the front, the suede with the Western stitching. This was such an awesome piece to add to my collection. Being that it's suede, being that it's a nice neutral, this is going to carry you from spring, fall, winter. This is going to be a good almost year-round belt. Suede in the summertime doesn't always work the best in my opinion, but you could. You know, we're all about trying new things, stepping out of our comfort zone. So this is going to be a piece that you're going to get a lot of use out of, and the customer service over at Stetson is absolutely amazing. So fun little story with this piece. I ordered this along with a shirt, and the shirt arrived, but for some reason the belt was shipped to a different address in New York that I have no association with. So to make it right, the customer care team over at Stetson overnighted me a new belt, comped the entire price of the belt, and with that they bought a customer for life. So I'm all about finding not only companies that make good quality products, but also stand behind them and have good customer service. And for me, this was a huge win. Now, another good belt that I've added to my collection in a couple different colorways is the Polo Ralph Lauren Ryder Cup belt. Now this one famously came out in the late 80s. There's this gorgeous advertisement of a woman. I kind of want to recreate the outfit because it leans very masculine naturally. I think with the right layers and cuts, you could definitely make it more masculine, make it more, you know, my own style. So with the Ryder Cup buckle, we have a polo player jumping through a stirrup, and this one's just done on like a nice cotton web. This came in two different colorways. I have the kind of orangey yellow and navy. It also came in a green and navy, which I am hunting for. Like, I have to have this belt added to my collection. And I also splurged and found it on eBay. I bought the leather version. We all lean into the Hermès, you know, the typical H buckle, you know, the LV buckles. But if you want something that's kind of architectural, a little bit more interesting, try a Polo Ryder Cup belt. These are amazing, an awesome piece to my collection. And the last and most recent addition to my statement belt collection that I'll be wearing this spring and summer is from Brooks Brothers. Now, this was a collaboration with Smathers and Branson, and this is a needlepoint hunt scene. Give me a good hunt scene, I am there. Not that I go hunting myself, but I can appreciate the imagery. Again, this is gonna look great with, you know, a green striped shirt, blue, red, just about anything. I wouldn't wear this with a pattern shirt just because the belt has a pattern. You get the idea. We're all about mixing, matching, making things work, telling our own story, and statement belts is kind of a fun way to do it. I'm a man. I carry a lot of stuff, and I don't necessarily want to be stuck with just some plain brown leather messenger or tote or briefcase. I like to have a little bit of fun with my bags. I used to be a huge Louis Vuitton collector, and this is from the Marc Jacobs era over at LV. This is one of those pieces from yesterday. So the Suhali collection, this is made out of goat skin sourced from the West Indies, calfskin trim, beautiful gold hardware. This is the locket bag because it has the lock on the end. The locket bag has been around at LV in some iteration since 1933. This is one of their classics. Like when you're thinking the keep all, the speedy, there's also the locket. So definitely check out a locket if you haven't already. With this piece, I sourced this from Zenlux. Now Zenlux, if you're looking for a place for pre-owned luxury, they have everything you could possibly think of. They have men's bags, women's bags, they have jewelry, they have very rare vintage LV and Hermès pieces. With them, I've been able to source pieces like this. I've gotten a lot of Hermès pieces. You know, as someone that collects pre-owned luxury and vintage pieces, some of these other sellers, they kind of just throw them in a small box, wad it up, it arrives damaged. But with Zenlux, it's shipped perfectly each and every single time. And also they have free shipping to the US right now, and they have free express shipping over a certain price point. I also have a discount code for you guys because this video was kindly sponsored by the team over at Zenlux. As a content creator, it's super important to align with brands that have a good ethos and kind of match what you're all about. And Zenlux, I definitely have my full trust in them. The pieces are perfection. Basically, for those of us who can't make it to Tokyo and have these amazing vacations readily, Zenlux kind of brings all of those stores to you. The prices are exceptional. The shipping is amazing. The customer service, the best I've ever encountered when it comes to buying these things. So if you're in the market for a really good bag, belt, you name it, whatever you're looking for, wallet, check out Zenlux. My code is down below along with my link. Give them a look because guys, they never disappoint. Now, other bags I'm gonna be carrying a lot this spring and summer. You guessed it, I am always in a boat and tote. All summer long, I kind of move into it like early May, and I don't move out until about October. This is from LL Bean. These have been around for almost 100 years. They originally invented to carry ice into the home back when we had ice chests, believe it or not. Guys, these bags are tanks. They're like 30 some bucks, so they're not very expensive. This one though, this colorway, it was on sale on the website at a certain point, and then it went away. It sold out. I'm like, I have missed out on this colorway because guys, there was one that I had been stalking on my Pinterest. It's this really cool vintage one with like an LV pochette hanging on the front. Guys, it was such a vibe. So I did some Googling, did some searching, and I found this one over at Von Maur. Yes, Von Maur carries LL Bean, who knew? I took it into my local store, had them do my initials here on the front in a matching color. You always need a good pouch to keep your boat and tow organized. If you're like me, I carry a lot of stuff, and I don't want it all just rolling around loose in my bag, so don't laugh at me. But when I saw that Vera Bradley brought back the Maison blue pattern, I had to have it. This is the large pouch. I had my initials done in the same color. I thought about doing a yellow, but I didn't want them to pop too much, just because I already have initials on the front of the bag. And this is such a cool piece. It's nice and soft, it's light, it's made from premium cotton. I like that it has a contrast lining on the interior. And the cool thing, I don't know if I do it with this one, but a cool thing about pouches, if you're traveling, you get to your destination and you just need like a small bag for like a little outing or maybe dinner, grab your pouch, throw your stuff in, and you've got a second bag. It's that simple. Pretty good price considering Vera Bradley's history. It's actually from Fort Wayne, where I'm from originally. So it's kind of cool having a little piece of Fort Wayne in my bag with me at all times. We love when an old pattern gets reintroduced, right? Now, I've added a few really good bags to use in my rotation this spring and summer. Historically, I know as men, we're trained to want the rugged leather messenger, the World War II inspired tote bag, but you can kind of have fun and color outside the lines. Because at the end of the day, a bag is a bag, and it's meant to carry your stuff. Man up, throw your stuff in a purse, and hit the streets. It's not that difficult. The first bag I want to talk to you guys about is my new Celine Boogie bag. The Celine Boogie was a bag introduced in 2002, back when Michael Kors was the creative director over at the French fashion house Celine. This bag was very kindly gifted to me by a viewer. Why do I love the Celine Boogie? It's a nice east-west tote bag. It's simple, it's easy, I can see all of my stuff at a glance, and I have been carrying this bag now for 2 weeks. Again, we're leaning into the color yellow. It's not normally a color I would actually go for. I mean, quite honestly, with this outfit, it's kind of a vibe, right? I love that this has kind of that spectator style. We have the lighter Celine macadam canvas, we have the burnished tan leather. Like I said, I've got all of my stuff in there, so I can see it at a glance. I can grab this bag and go. The handles are nice, chunky, and comfortable. And listen, if we don't want to carry it by a top handle, if we're too afraid of that, I get it, I hear you, then just throw it under your shoulder. Easily, you can carry just about any type of bag if you have the confidence and it works with what you're wearing. If I'm a 6'7" man and can carry a bag, you can do it too. Trust me, it's not hard. Because I love the Celine Boogie so much, like my love for the Boogie has no bounds, I found a rare one. Now, my husband and I, we were recently starting to go to the theater and I found a mini. Now this bag, you guys, is so, it's just beyond. I was kind of tricked at first. I thought it might be real stingray leather. Sadly, it's not, but you get the impression that it is. So with this is from the early 2000s Michael Kors era, like I said, over at Celine. This is the Celine Micro Boogie. I cannot stop laughing. This bag is so small, so ridiculous, but it has that metallic sheen to it. I love that it has just the simple Triomphe logo here at the end. Yes, these little pockets are still somewhat usable. They're real. I don't know what I'm going to put in there other than like a quarter and a wish. It also has the zippered top. So if you're at the theater, you've got this in your lap, you've got to applaud like it just did. It wants to roll out of your lap. It's got a zipper on the top. And the zipper kind of breaks away. It just kind of opens up to a very simple lining. I got all the original paperwork and the card for it too. I have a few really cool Gucci blazers from, I think it was like the Resort 2018. I have one in kind of a golden colorway that this would work really nice with, just with the metallic. I have a vintage Givenchy that this is gonna look really fire with. You wanna carry all your stuff, but you don't want big bulky pockets with your suit or your tuxedo. Get a cool bag. Trust me, this is gonna be absolutely fire. So another fun piece, and I think my fellow millennials here are going to appreciate this, I added the Rowing Blazers Babar hat to my hat collection. Now this is gonna be in rotation. It's gonna be a little bit of a step outside of my comfort zone. I have a lot of hair, so hats don't normally work for me, and it's the color yellow. But again, I'm leaning into yellow. I'm embracing it this year. I have a few pieces from Rowing Blazers already, and I've always appreciated the quality. They're fun to wear, they're easy to wear, very comfortable, well made. So I'm like, you know what? Lean into it, get the yellow hat with Babar on it. I'm gonna be a 37-year-old man wearing a Babar hat, and I'm not ashamed. So let's shift things up a little bit. We're gonna talk about some shoes. I think with these style videos, we're always looking at like really cool boots, expensive loafers. Let's talk about the shoes that we want to be wearing. For my workout gear, I've added the Flex Train shoe. I really appreciate that these have a nice soft undersole. So when I'm on the treadmill, my feet aren't hurting, and I know that I could easily wear these into the city for an afternoon out. Maybe I'm kind of dressed down and casual. These are gonna get me through the city very comfortably throughout the day. For work, I kind of work in a more casual environment, but for work, I added the Revolution 8 shoes. These give me a nice soft tread. pad. These are a little bit firmer, so if you're looking for a little bit more support throughout the day as you're walking around the city or wherever it is that you're going, check out the Revolution 8. Again, I'm gonna have everything linked down below for you guys. I mean, these aren't the most expensive, fancy Nikes that are out there. They're very much in the dad shoe category, in my opinion. Again, we're embracing style, but we're gonna also do it kind of comfortably this year. We're not looking to, life's not a runway 24/7. Occasionally you're gonna need something comfortable, whether that be running on the treadmill, running around the city. Check these out. They're definitely worth every $55 that I paid for them. I've got a little bit of an Hermès unboxing to do for you guys. As an Hermès collector, of course I have several scarves in my collection, but when this one was released for spring summer, I had to have it. So I love anything equestrian, anything classic. Give me a good, you know, chain rope status print. This is the Hermès jumping scarf. Now this is done in the 45 centimeter size. In my collection I have the 70s, I have the 90s, so I'm used to those. But when this came out, it's a little bit smaller of a format that I'm used to. It's like, you know what? I can't readily just run into the city to try on an Hermès scarf on a whim. So what I did, and this is gonna be a fun hack for you guys, if you're looking to get an Hermès scarf but you're not sure if the size format's gonna work for you, cut up an old t-shirt. I literally measured out an old t-shirt that I had, cut out a square so I could try the size. Now, of course, the cotton's gonna be a little bit stretchier than brand new silk is. Silk's gonna be pretty taut. But with this, I just plan to kind of, you know, fold it in half, tie it around the back of my neck, and it's gonna be the perfect spring summer accessory. And the great thing too with scarves, if you're out and about and you're wearing them and it's getting hot, you're getting kind of sweaty, you don't wanna mess up the scarf, just tie it to your bag. Or you could also tie it through the loop on your pants. I've seen a lot of guys on Pinterest doing that lately. And it's just kind of a fun way to introduce a scarf without looking like an ascot. Especially with menswear, scarves can look a little ascot-y. We're looking a little bit more like Mr. Howe on Gilligan's Island, which is not the vibe we're going for in 2026. So find fun new ways to wear scarves. And again, you don't have to buy these brand new. Hermès scarves can literally be found at any price point on the pre-owned market. I check places like Zenlux. There's a few good vintage consignment stores here in my area that I like to look at. So look around. If you don't necessarily want to pay full price, then check vintage. And again, we're leaning into more reds, yellows. We've got the blues on there that I already wear all the time. So I thought this would be a really smart investment piece, not an investment piece, but a smart addition to my Hermès silk collection. Like I said, I'm pretty excited. Sticking to Hermès, another piece I'm getting a lot of use out of is the Hermès click bracelet, but this is the size T6, which fits perfectly. Again, I'm not the thinnest guy in the world. However, this is the perfect size. Now, do I want to try maybe a T5? Sure, I wouldn't mind going down a size. Rather than just doing something in a solid enamel, I wanted to opt for something a little bit more striking, a little bit more visually interesting, and the horses on this just leaned into that. Again, this has a lot of the blues. I collect Hermès. I have a blue jean Hermès Kelly. This is the perfect piece when I'm wearing that out and about. And also, it's just easier to wear this. It's got more of a pattern, more variation in color. So it's not necessarily a solid navy, solid light blue, solid gray. As I've mentioned before, I've admitted before, I kind of tend to lean towards more cool colors. So this has been a really smart addition to my Hermès collection, and I could definitely see more click bracelets in the future. I just think it's such a cool style. Yeah, check them out if you haven't already. I recently bought the most indulgent thing I have ever purchased as an adult, and that is some face wash. Now this is just the travel size, but this is the L'Occitane Immortal Divine Foaming Cleansing Cream. I think the first night I used it, I absolutely loved it. The second night I used it, I asked my husband, like, well, they are having the 20% off friends and family sale. Tonight's the last night. Would it be absolutely insane to spend $40 on face cleanser? He explained it to me. He's like, well, yeah, it does a good job. You like it, and it's also part of the experience. So I'm like, okay. So I splurged on the face wash. I already use a lot of L'Occitane for my nightly routine. I have the under eye serum, the Immortal Divine cream. I use the big yellow Immortal Divine cream on my forehead and neck. My L'Occitane nightly routine is on lock. We'll just say that, right? Listen, I'm 37, so anything that I can invest in to help kind of drag all of this out a little bit longer is money well spent. I have to apologize. I have a little bit of egg on my face. Recently, I recapped my entire Hermès collection. So if that's something you're interested in, go and check that out. I'll have it linked down below. I have found this spring that I am absolutely loving my Hermès fragrances, specifically two. I've always loved this fragrance, but the first one is Twilly de Hermès. It's phenomenal. Quite honestly. So with this, you're gonna get hints of candied ginger, sandalwood, and tuberose, and it makes the perfect spicy, almost floral scent for spring and summer. Once the bottle runs out, you can take the little silk spaghetti off and tie it on a bag. It's kind of a cool vibe. This is going to be something that I will always have in my collection. As long as they make it, I will have it in my collection. Now this was designed, if you're familiar with fragrance designers, this was done by Christine Nagel. And what's really cool about it, the bottle, it emulates a stagecoach lantern. So you've got the light here, the little top of the top of the lantern. Amazing fragrance, and I cannot recommend this enough. If you can, get the little tester coffret, because you'll get this, you'll get the rhubarb fragrance, which is also amazing. And it's just like a really easy, inexpensive way to test out Hermès fragrances without the upfront investment. Now, granted, these are a lot less expensive than like say BDK or LV fragrances, but they have really good layering capabilities within the Hermès line. So with this one, sometimes in the winter, to kind of make it a little bit more bold and spicy, I'll add the Hermès rhubarb fragrance, the rhubarb scarlet, and it's just an easy layerable fragrance. The other fragrance that I said I hated, would never buy again, has in fact proven to be one of my favorites. This is the Amber Mandarin. I complain that it doesn't have really good staying power. By lunchtime, it's pretty much gone. However, I have the luxury of coming home for lunch, so I just refresh, right? So with the Mandarin Amber, you're gonna be getting hints of mandarin, passion fruit, and amber. With spring, especially with wearing the lighter colors in our wardrobes, lighter fragrances are going to be the way to go, especially spring and summer 26. I'm going to be leaning into my Hermès fragrances a little bit more, my Twilly, my Mandarin Amber, and it's just going to create a really good fragrance story that's going to accompany my new aesthetic, my new wardrobe for the season. And that is it. These are all the pieces that I've recently added to my wardrobe or my luxury bag collection. I'm really excited to be embracing new ideas, new colors, new textures, new patterns, and really making 2026 my year. This is going to be the year where good things are going to be happening for all of us. Let me know down in the comments, did you take away any style notes from this? Are you going to be incorporating any of these ideas into your own wardrobe? Let's get a conversation going. And until next time, guys, stay safe, have fun. I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye-bye. And if you enjoyed this video, but you want to learn a little bit more about Hermès, check out my Hermès collection. Would I buy it again? Would I not? Spoiler alert, I probably would. See you there.